2.2.5 Protozoan. All protozoans are heterotrophs and live as a predator or parasite. They are believed to be primitive relatives of animals. There are four major groups of protozoan. Amoeba, amoeboid protozoan. These organisms live in a fresh water, sea water or moist soil. They move and capture their prey by putting out pseudopodia, false feet, or as in amoeba, marine forms have silica shells on their surface. Some of them, such as ant amoeba, are parasites, flagellate protozoan. The members of this group are either free-living or parasitic. They have flagella. The parasitic form cause disease such as the sleeping sickness. Example, trypanosoma. Ciliated protozoa. These are aquatic, actively moving organisms. Because of the presence of thousands of cilia, they have a cavity that open to the outside of cell surface. The coordinated movement of rows of cilia causes the water laden with food to be steered into the gluten. Example, paramecium. In bracket figure 2.4d. Sporozoan. These include diverse organisms that have an infectious spore-like stage in their life cycle. The most notorious is Plasmodium malarial parasite, which causes malaria, a disease which has a staggering effect on human population. 2.3 Kingdom fungi. The fungi constitute as a unique kingdom of heterotrophic organisms. They show a great diversity in morphology and habit. You must have seen fungi on moist bread and rotten fruit. The common mushroom you eat and toadstool are also fungi. White spots seen on mustard leaf are due to a parasitic fungus. Some unicellular fungi, example, yeast, are used to make bread and beer. Other fungi cause disease in plant and animal. Wheat rust causing Puccinia is an important example. Some are the source of antibiotics, example, penicillium. Fungi are compollitate and occur in air, water, soil, and on animal and plants. They prefer to grow in warm and humid places. Have you ever wondered why we keep food in the refrigerator? Yes, it is to prevent food from going bad due to bacterial or fungal infection. With the exception of yeast, which are unicellular, fungi are filamentous. Their bodies consist of long, slender, thread-like structure called hyphae. The network of hyphae is known as mycelium. Some hyphae are continuous tube filled with multinucleate cytoplasm. These are called coinocytic hyphae. Other have septae or cross wall in their hyphae. The cell wall of fungi are composed of chitin and polysaccharide. Most fungi are heterotrophic and absorb soluble organic matter from dead substrate and hence are called saprophytes. Those that depend on living plant and animal are called parasites. They can also live as symbiont in association with algae as lichen and with roots of higher plant as a mycorrhiza. Reproduction in fungi can take place by vegetative means, fragmentation, fission, and budding. Asexual reproduction is by spore called conidia or sporangiospore or zoospore, and sexual reproduction is by oospore, ascospores, and basidiospore. The various spores are produced in distinct structure called fruiting body. The sexual cycle involving the following three steps. First, fusion of protoplasm between two motile or non-motile gametes called plasmogamy. Second, fusion of two nuclei called karyogamy. Third, meiosis in zygote resulting in haploid spore. When a fungus reproduces sexually, two haploid hyphae of compatible mating type come together and fuse. In some fungi, the fuse of two haploid cells immediately result in diploid cell. However, in other fungi, in bracket Ascomycetes and Basidiomycetes, and intervening dikaryotic stage occurs. Such a condition is called dikaryon, and the phase is called dikaryophase of fungus. Later, the parental nuclei fuse and the cell become diploid. The fungi form fruiting body in which reproduction division occur, leading to the formation of haploid spore. The morphology of mycelium, mode of spore formation and fruiting body form the basis for the division of the kingdom to various classes. 2.3.1 Phycomycetes. Members of Phycomycetes are found in aquatic habitats and on decaying wood in moist and damp place, or as obligate parasite on plant. The mycelium is aseptate and coinocytic. Asexual reproduction takes place by zoospore bracket motile or by the aplanospore in bracket non-motile. These spores are endogenously produced in sporangium. A zoospore is formed by fusion of two gametes. These gametes are similar in morphology in bracket isogamous or dissimilar anisogamous or ogamous. Some common examples are mucor in figure 2.5a, rhizopus in bracket the braid mold mentioned earlier, and albugo in bracket the parasitic fungi on mustard. 2.3.2 Ascomycetes. Commonly known as sac fungi, the Ascomycetes are mostly multicellular. Example penicillium, or rarely unicellular. Example yeast. In bracket Saccharomyces, they are saprophytic, decomposer, parasitic or coprophilous. Bracket growing on dung. Mycelium is branch and septate. The asexual spores are conidia produced exogenously on the special mycelium called conidiospore. Conidio on the germination produce mycelium. Sexual spores are called ascospores, which are produced endogenously in sac like asci. These asci are arranged in different type of fruiting body called ascospore. Some example are aspergillus in bracket figure 2.5b. Calvisips and Neurospora. Neurospora is used extensively in biochemical and genetic work. Many members like morels and truffles are edible and are considered delicacies. 2.3.3 Basidiomycetes. Commonly known form of Basidiomycetes are mushroom, bracket, fungi or pubball. They grow in soil, on log and tree stump, and in living plant bodies as parasite. Example rust and smuts. The mycelium is branch and septate. The asexual spores are generally not found, but vegetative reproduction by fragmentation is common. The sex organs are absent, but plasmogamy is brought about by fusion of two vegetative or somatic cells of different strain or genotypes. The resultant structure is dikaryotic, which ultimately gives rise to basidium. Karyogamy and meiosis take place in the basidium, produce 4 basidiospore. The basidiospore are exogenously produced on the basidium. The basidia are arranged in fruiting body called basidiocarp. Some common members are agaricus, stylego and puccinia. 2.3.4 Deuteromycetes, commonly known as imperfect fungi because only the asexual or vegetative phase of these fungi are known. When the sexual form of these fungi were discovered, they were moved into classes they rightly belong to. It is also possible that the asexual and vegetative stage have been given one name and in bracket and placed under deuteromycetes and sexual stage another in bracket and placed under another class. Later when the linkage were established, the fungi were correctly identified and move out of deuteromycetes. Once perfect stage of member of deuteromycetes were discovered, they were often moved to ascomycetes and basidiomycetes. The deuteromycetes reproduce only by a sexual spore known as a conidia. The mycelium is septate and branched. Some members are saprophytes or parasite, while a large number of them are decomposer of litter and help in mineral cycling. Some examples are Alternaria, Colicotrichum and Trichoderma.